Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Pardon any lag. Just getting the screens right on my side. Uh, Almost got everything. I don't have Twitch open just yet, but what's up, Arden? How's it going? How is, I believe it's Saturday. Yeah, how's your Saturday been? It's been warmer here, and by warmer, I mean it's I think got up to -4. So sorry if this plays any noise. I'm gonna try to make it not. Don't make
Me.
paused you. I paused you. You shut your mouth. You don't speak unless I tell you to speak. Alright, getting closer. You open up Twitch for the pop-out chat, and it gives you more options. It just gives you so many damn options. Like, who needs all that? I just want it to pop out. Almost got it here. There we go. Oh, one to go to. Glad you made it. Almost perfect. There we go. And Patrick, glad you made it. Okay. Flop sweating a little bit. You know how it is. Everything's like perfect, and then like my glasses were just like the tiniest bit, one or two flecks of dust too much, and then I just had to clean them real quick. And I decided to wear my rosary since it's the Boondock Saints. So I do own a rosary. I forget when I got this. I know I wore it to my first concert back in 2010. I've had it for a minute. It's black and gold. You really can't see the black, but you can just take my word for it. The funny story is, I didn't know where my jewelry was for a long time, just moving and just stuff moved around and just didn't care to look for things. And I thought it was lost. I just didn't know where it was. And I was moving things around cleaning one day, found all my jewelry. It was there. So it's like, cool, I didn't lose it. Anyway, go to Quite Frankly that night, and that was the night he was there. He used to have a cross on his desk that Gadget Doc gave him. It had fallen on the floor. Whenever that was, it was sometime within maybe the last 2 years. That was the same day. I don't recall when that happened, but it did happen. And oh, what's up, Lisa Gray? What's up, Wally World? What's up, Dandy? Dandy said the door was locked. I had to climb up the side of the building to get to the balcony. Hi, everyone. Yeah, sorry. The door, like, it blows shut. And it blows shut so hard sometimes it locks itself with the cold and the wind. So I'm sorry about that. That's why Matt's been like scratching outside at the door those 2 episodes. It happens. They have to repaint the door every year. Oh, Arden says we can sit. Yeah, I thought about because I'm like, well, let me wear because I already wore the gray shirt, but that would make it show up better. But I kind of wanted to wear the black shirt today, and it's then I realized the shirt says not today, Satan. Plus, I'm wearing a rosary, so whenever Easter is, this is my Easter get up. I'm the one getting kicked out of church for saying fuck Satan, and no. I can't recall the last time I was in I was never like a regular church goer. I knew people who were forced into it, and then as adults they hate church and any like lapsed Catholics, like those types. So I wasn't like forced to go to church. I know people who were. Oh, John Rogers, glad you made it. Gonna let folks file in a little bit before we get started. Make sure everybody gets comfy. Grab your like I know they drink beer in the movie and eat some pizza and screw around with guns. I don't have any beer or pizza, and I don't know if I'm allowed to show firearms on camera. Other channels do it. I've seen them do it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that kind of a thing, or if I'm going to get an email or get this taken down after a day. So I'll skip that. Lisa says, guzzling a quick cup of coffee, listening in for a few minutes. Oh, damn, flooding here and have to deal with the pump. Freaking dumping rain. Unheard of for this time of year. That really fucking sucks. More power to you. I'll try to, like, be good in this review so it stays up for more than a day so you can watch it later if you miss anything. Dandy said, I watched the movie today, kick-ass flick. Yeah, we are going to be reviewing the Boondock Saints from 1999. Best year ever. Wild World, no guns on a live stream. You know, that makes sense because the video I saw was like a video. It wasn't like a live stream. So I think I see that loophole there. Gotcha. You know, and I see why no guns during a live stream. I won't say why, but that makes a lot of sense because yeah, it just makes sense. One plus whatever equals two. Yeah. Oh, and what to go to? Says good to see you, Nikki's Saints over on Twitch. Yeah, I do have the Twitch chat room open. I'm not broadcasting there, but if you have a Twitch account, if you have a handle, you have a chat room. You just go to your own page, and then all the way off to the side, it will say, if it's not there, just scroll over. It will say chat. And so it's just that chat room on, it's like twitch.tv/Nikki M. Carlin. Karlen. John Rogers, Wally is right. Yeah, no firearms during a live stream. We can sort of guess how that could go wrong. Won't say it. We know what people, sad people happen. Put it like that. I'm not a jewelry wearer. I used to wear it like often, and like I can't remember the last time I wore a necklace. Like at the factory, we were not allowed to like no rings, no bracelets, no necklaces, no nothing. So I got out of the habit of that and paint my nails. And then I worked from home for a few years. Who cares what you wear there? I'm not gonna put on jewelry just to sit in front of the computer. John Rogers, I need to clean mine. Yeah, same. Arden said, okay, you can pop out the YouTube chat and watch on any other platform you like. I mean, for quite frankly, you can because he's on every platform. For myself, I'm just watching the YouTube chat room and the Twitch chat room. Like, I don't know, say, if on Rumble, if an individual has a chat room, even if they don't have a channel, I wouldn't use Rumble because they have animated emojis you can't turn off. So that's right out, but that was the first example that came to mind. But right now I'm just watching two chat rooms, so it's a little bit more than what I do. I'm trying to get back into the habit of it, quite frankly, to have two chat rooms open. Oh, it's just, I just got to get back into the habit of it. Arden said, so you will be chatting on YouTube. Yeah, I've got YouTube, the YouTube chat room open, of course, and then I've got like myself and then Twitch over here. So it's two chat rooms plus a screen for myself. I feel like I'm wearing Mardi Gras beads, and that's an odd sensation to have when you're wearing a rosary. But then on the other hand, is it Mardi Gras the thing before or during Lent? It's like I used to know, but it's not my religion. So like I'm not saying it wrong to like get it wrong on purpose. I just don't remember something like that. It's close enough. It's close enough. It comes up on quite frankly, so I don't have to know these things. I kind of hope we get through this in one. I mean, we'll get through the review in one episode, but I really want to talk about the Friday show, quite frankly. Oh man, if you weren't there, you really want to go back and watch it. But oh, Lisa Gray says Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. That's Ash Williams from The Walking Dead, Bruce Campbell. Okay, Arden, yeah, Mardi Gras is very Catholic. It's before Lent. And then Lent is the time of year when you take all of your coat pockets and flip them inside out to get the lint out of the corners. Pardon me, just a tad. And then don't mind where is it here? Yeah, don't mind that. Just fighting third graders. It happens. And the Hammers play tomorrow at Villa for the. I was gonna say soccer. That's not right. Football fans, for the football fans. But what I can say about the Friday show, this wasn't technically part of the show really, but Frank had a poll up saying if this show gets at least 800 likes, what would you like me to do? One option was to have a Saturday show, a call-in Saturday show. Second option was Matt McCat. He didn't say which Matt. I assumed he meant Matt McCat, and he did. Matt has to be hetero for 6 weeks. Third option was Jay Gulanello has to eat a Chips Ahoy cookie. I voted for the cookie. I want to see him eat, see him sit there for 2 hours and just slowly eat the whole pack. But it was neck and neck for a while, but the Saturday show one did win out, and then Frank is planning on doing something on a Saturday show in February. So that's all we know, just February. But looking ahead real quick right now, like I doubt it's going to be February 1st because that's a week from today. That's a bit soon. So then it's just February 8th, 15th, and 22nd. I kind of don't think it's going to be the 15th because we'll have the Valentine's Day show on Friday. I don't Frank's going to want to do anything with us on Saturday. He might want to do like family things or stuff with his wife. So I get the feeling that's out. So this is just me speculating. I don't know. So I would guess he would be choosing the 8th or the 22nd. Since February is like a short month. It's only got 20-ish days in it. And then next Saturday, the 1st, we will be voting on what movie to watch for February. So if you do want to suggest any movies between now and next week, please add them in the comments of any videos or any posts that I make either on YouTube or Twitter. And as long as it's a free movie that's on YouTube or Tubi or Pluto, going to be checking out Pluto now, Pluto TV. As long as it's free to watch, I'll throw it in the mix. We'll check it out. I do already have one in mind for next month. We'll see if it gets voted for. Want to go to what's better, the Top Hat chat? Love live chat, of course. Yeah, live chat is the one you want. Dandy, oh my God, Friday show with Matt must be a huge relief. It was so much fun. Holy shit. Lisa Gray said, little trivia, the ash used on Ash Wednesday is made from the burnt palm leaves from the prior year's Palm Sunday. I never knew that. Wow. Dandy, LOL, I voted for the cookie too. Yeah, Chips Ahoy, damn it. Wally World, Bruce Campbell went to my rival high school at the same time. Whoa. Did you play football too? Arden, oh, Mardi Gras always starts on January 6th and goes through Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. Holy shit, I didn't realize it was that long. Oh, Patrick says, I think we got Lester, Wally. It is Lester, right? Did I learn that? Yeah, so did anybody watch any good movies over the last 3 weeks? Now, it's perfectly okay to be sitting here having not watched the movie and letting me do a terrible job of spoiling it for you. That's perfectly fine. Again, I've watched so many reviews of movies I have not seen, either don't want to see or just, just too hard to watch it for free, so might as well watch a shitload of reviews about it. So it's all good. And this does have, I thought wasn't sure if it was the Boondock Saints or the second one, but the first one does have the clip that Frank uses on the show. And I did like sort of, even though I knew it was coming up, I was still like freaking out, like, oh my God, he said it. So that is in this movie, somewhere around the middle. Wasn't really trying to timestamp it. It's in there. So I do like that the Boondock Saints did come out in the best year ever, 1999. Oh, Patrick, yes, I got the pronunciation right. Yes, I'm learning. English is fun. Because I didn't watch this movie until like the earliest I would have seen it is 2013. But then I sit and watch it now, and something about it just makes me think of like old school video games. I know that kind of doesn't make sense because there's no like gaming in the film, but I think it's something about the music. It is very like bagpipes, Irish sounding. I dig that. It sort of makes me want to play like Chrono Cross or something like that, which again, that's which is actually from those times. So I don't know why it make like just automatically pulls me back 25 years, but I'm glad it does. Wally, holy shit! Said I was at football games with Bruce, yeah, Bruce Campbell. I was in the marching band. Whoa! Just get the cymbal off of the drums and just kind of like flick it like a frisbee, try to hit somebody and make them like fuck up a play. Arden said it reminded me of Goodfellas. Oh, nice. Yeah, did this movie like was it like another movie you've seen, or was it could you ever watch a movie and you think, oh, this is a ripoff of something else, or did it feel original? I do like this because it opens up, they let you know it's St. Patrick's Day in South Boston, and they use a lot of like helicopter shots. You can tell it was shot in a helicopter. They're showing you all around town, and lots of fades in and fades out. I think that's what makes it feel retro too, because that's just they kind of use it a little bit. They don't overuse it, but they use it so much that I notice it, but it doesn't ruin the film for me, if that makes sense. Oh, Arden says Wally World played the bass drums. Nah, I was just like guessing with the drums thing, but that's cool. Oh, Beach Champ, glad you made it. Can't stay on for too long. That's okay. We won't do anything to your seat. So like already like the vibes of the movie are so cool with like the just these panning shots of the city and the bagpipes, and it's just for some reason it's just pulling me back in time in a good way. So like I was like just digging it, getting into it. Again, it has probably been over 10 years since I've watched it. Patrick, yep, St. Patty's Day, March 17th. Dandy, yeah, I was like, oh, they have a cat. That didn't end well. Yeah, I was gonna put a trigger warning in here, but honestly, even for somebody who is triggered by those things, I'll mention it when we get to it. It's not quite disturbing because it's not shot in a gruesome way. I'll explain myself when I get to that scene. So I don't want to be a trigger warning type of channel because nobody warns you when you dive into this stuff. You don't know what you're gonna see. But nobody told me. But it's fine. It's fine. Like, oh, kitty cat. So we open up where it's like a church services on St. Patrick's Day. And nothing is ever still. Like even like the priest is standing there and they're doing this like slow pan shot of him. So it's always moving, and there's the brothers and they're standing up and they're walking. And there's just like always movement going on at the very start of the film. It just makes you feel like you're rushing towards something. It doesn't do that for the whole film. It's just the start to guess pull you into it. But the priest is getting up there talking about how the city's all corrupt, and the brothers are both there. It's Norman Reedus. His character is Murphy, and Sean Patrick Flannery is Connor. I didn't catch their names at first. I honestly had to go back and check because I'm making notes like Norman Reedus, SPF, and I didn't. So that's and then I think I went through it here and corrected everything, so I'm not calling the characters by the actors' names. I know they can get confusing. I will try to avoid that. But they're always wearing sort of like light blue jeans, not super light, like medium light blue jeans, and like black on top, like black shirts, black coats, something like that. And they wear like these hella rosaries where it's not just like this is just a cross, like they'll have a cross, but it's got like that circle over like the actual like middle part there. I don't know what the different kinds of crosses mean. I know like there's the kind with like the extra like slanty part at the bottom. I don't know what the different kinds are. I just assume the more you add to it, the more religious you are. And these guys are hella into it because as the priest is talking, they stand up, walk right past the dude. Everybody's noticing. Nobody stops them, but they walk right past this guy, still talking, go right up to the, can't think of the name of it, but like the statue of Christ, like they're up there blessing themselves right in front of the guy. Screw all this sitting down stuff. They are religion maxing, Christ pilling, all about this service, but they got stuff to do, so they can't stay for the whole thing. Arden, thank you. That's the Irish Celtic cross with the circle. Thank you. And then this was giving me 60s vibes because they step out of the church. First of all, again, it's March 17th. There's like no snow outside at all. It looks like very pleasant, a very mild March. Dudes step outside. Both of them light up cigarettes. They got these neck tattoos. I couldn't tell what they were. But so like all this smoking right away. It's like watching something from the 60s. Like, ugh. It's not too bad in the whole film. They don't keep it going like it's a film in the 60s. It's just like a few scenes. Oh, Lisa Gray, hate to, but I have to get back outdoors. I'm getting too old for having to do everything. Love and light to you all. Yeah, more power to you. We'll hold it down. And make sure my battery's okay. And so while we're still getting like introduced to the boys, we see that they work at a butcher's. So it's like factory, you got the bloody coats on. And like Sean Patrick Flannery walks in, everybody's staring at him. Here's Norman Reedus, smacks him in the head. See, I'm doing it already. So Connor walks in, Murphy smacks him with like this leg, I guess, of maybe a cow, and just starts, beating him with his meat. Ha ha, just screwing around at work. And then this, big butch lady, lesbian looking type, so I think she's taller than them. And I believe Norman Reedus is something like 5'10". So this chick is up there. And Connor's trying to explain to her how to do things there. And he's like, what you want to remember, the rule of thumb is, she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you know where that comes from? And if you don't, it used to be a rule a guy could beat his wife with a stick as long as it wasn't thicker than his thumb. And Connor's like, oh, we can't do much damage with that. It should have been the rule of wrist, huh? Don't you think? And she doesn't think it's funny at all. So she just leg back, swings it right up, kicks him right in the dick. Dude falls over. But then Murphy's right there to clock this bitch right in the face. So she goes down. I'm like, holy shit, these guys are just wild. Dandy, I started watching the version in Spanish. Had to go back and get the right one. Yeah, because the one I found, it's like that's the logo of the DVD that I always saw for sale. But then you click on the description and it's like Dos Hermanos. I'm like, no, no, I know what that means. I'm not reading anymore. Where's the other one? So like the one with like the more gray, and it might just be like a pistol and like a bit of a rosary on it. Like that's the one. Like, more power to them for having the Spanish version. I'm not knocking them for having that. Then you see their apartment. It's barely an apartment. It's more like a room with some beds in it. There's a toilet across the way. Like there's no real furnishing other than that. It's just like a space to sleep in. But I mean, hey, it's four walls and a roof, so can't knock it too bad. And there's a lot of time spent with them with their shirts off. And I wasn't going to bring that up, but I might as well because that's never a bad thing. It's always a good time when Norman Reedus does not want to wear all of his clothes. I'm never mad about that. I don't know, Dandy, do you understand enough Spanish to get through that? Was the dub good? They use like ladies to dub the voices instead of men. But we eventually we get introduced to I don't know how to put the guy from the clip Frank uses. His real name is like he's got a proper name like David something or other. They call him Rocco, and he's the dude like hair's all in his face. You know, like hasn't shaved. You know, like he's like sort of like a lower dude in the Italian mafia. Like he's not a don. He's not a boss. He's just sort of a underling. Like this guy's in like his 30s. How high up could he be? But that's his thing. And it is St. Patrick's Day, so they're in the bar, just kicking it, having a good time. Irish bar, everybody's, it's Irish accent. That's that Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery both speak with Irish accents. Um, like they're good enough to me. There is a channel that does review actors using different accents in movies, and like if they're good, they'll say it. If they're bad, they rip into them. I'm sure they have covered this movie at some point. They're okay. They're okay. It's not it's not the worst Irish accents you're gonna hear. Dandy, no, I thought maybe the priest was speaking Spanish for effect. LOL. What's he saying? I don't know. Just do the thing when he does the thing and just pretend. But at the bar, I didn't catch the name of the bartender owner guy. Maybe he doesn't have a name, but this dude either has just a very bad stutter or Tourette's or both. Because Rocco walks in, he's like, "Hey, fuck yes, give me a beer," and it's this older guy, glasses. And so, dude, finally, hey, boys, shut up. Let me get all your attention. And just he starts stuttering, tripping on his words. When he gets frustrated, just fuck, shit, ass, just like Tourette's, and it's hilarious. But they blow it off, and he's like, "Oh no, the bar's gonna have to close," all this kind of stuff. And they're like, "Yeah, whatever. You've gotten out of this trouble before." Door opens up. Big dudes walk in. Three big MFers walk in, and they start talking like, "Oh, they're Russian. Oh, hell, I'm sure they're gonna start trouble in front of the Irish dudes." And they are. They're there to give them a hard time. And Murphy's like, "Hey, it's St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's Irish tonight. Kind of, hey, calm the fuck down. Stop coming in here being a dick." But he continues to be an asshole, and then Connor makes a joke about the guy's mother. Dude doesn't like it. Bar fight. Well, they end it right there. They do show like a lot of swinging, arms, all this stuff going on, but it cuts out there. We go to another scene. And this is when we are introduced to Willem Dafoe's character. There was, the character's name is Paul Smecker. Just going to call him Paul. Because what happened was after the bar fight, we're in this alley, and it's these two dead guys and these three cops, somebody just called this in. So they figure it was St. Patrick's Day. These two guys got into a fight. Somebody must have bashed him in the head where their head was wrapped up to hide the fact that he got hit. And so, like, they were just beat up. And then these folks ran away. That's what happened. Case solved. This guy knows what he's doing. He's walking all around the crime scene. I guess they're not worried about footprints. Maybe they already took pictures. I don't know. It never happened this way in Law and Order, but that's when, Paul shows up, and this dude has like very pretty hair, but he's wearing like a shirt that's almost the same color as his hair, like a sort of like this medium brown color. And then his suit is gray, but his tie is a lighter gray. It was very off-putting to me, just the coloring of it. And this guy is a little bit eccentric. And dude, Willem Dafoe, any scene he's in, he is chewing up the scenery, hamming it up. This man is having a great time at his job, and it shows. But he shows up and he listens to the guy who knew what he was talking about, Detective Greenlee. Well, Paul's not impressed because he starts looking around. He goes down this alleyway. He sees there's like a bullet hole in the wall, just somewhere, just right in the like. We need somebody to dig that out. And meanwhile, he's put on his because he pops in his earbuds, And he's got a disc man, Walkman, disc man. I was like, oh, okay, dude, I remember those. He's blasting his opera. He's in his own world. Figures out it was a shooting, and he also wants Detective Greenlee to go get him a coffee because he figured all of that out by himself. There's also a fella, his name is Detective Dolly. He's played by a fella named David Ferry, Ferry. Face is so familiar. Like, I've seen that dude in other stuff. Couldn't tell you what without looking him up. I'm just saying, dude was just hella familiar looking. And the reason why Paul is there is because they think this killing was from, Russian mob hit, which means it's a federal case. That's why he's there at all, stepping on the detective's toes. They're just kind of standing back watching him like, oh, you believe this guy? I don't know, sipping coffee, like, they're like, whatever. But he's like, yeah, it wasn't a beatdown, it was a shooting. So we need to look for, dig up that bullet there. Why don't you lift this body up, see what's underneath him? Oh, yeah, found the other shell casing. So he figured out the crime after in like 2 minutes, whereas dude was had to like walk all around and tell his theory. So he's looking like a dumbass right now. Greenlee is. So anyway, now we're jumping over to a hospital, and it's Murphy and Connor, and they've got these like white, maybe off-white bathrobes on that just have like these old, not even really old blood stains because they're still red, just random like red on them. And they're in the hospital, like just wearing like shorts and like this, so they're basically naked, just kind of just waiting around. And they're in a hallway. They're like I think Connor's just talking to this little kid, trying to cheer him up. 'Cause it looks like he has cancer or something like that, like no hair. And then there's these like nuns off to the side, like full habit, all of that. And in walks fuck ass, and arms full of clothes, like here boys, I brought your clothes, and it fuck shit. And the nuns look up at him, and Connor's like, to the little kid, he's like, he wasn't talking to you, he wasn't talking to you. So, like they get their clothes, or they're happy to have clothing. And, fuck ass ends up swearing again as he walks out. There's the one nun blessing herself, like, oh, can't believe the filth that comes out of people's mouths. Just a second, checking the battery out. So good. It does kind of jump back and forth in this movie, and then what happens is you will get like flashbacks to things that happen, so it might sound a bit disjointed. It does quickly come together. It doesn't like leave you hanging for information for too long, so it's not like, say, frustrating to watch in that way. But like folks around town, folks reading the newspaper, they are kind of just cool with these mobsters getting killed. They don't care that that happened. They think a couple of angels just came down and killed off these mafia dudes, and more power to them. Two less mobsters in the world. Uh, hmm, can't read my writing. Oh. Okay, okay, sorry, I remember now. In the police station, this, oh, these guys killed these mobsters. People just think they're a couple angels. Cops are just not impressed, whatever. But they're the guys show up. There's Murphy and Connor showing up. They've got, they're still looking kind of raggedy and bloody, but they're just in the police station after the cops just were like, oh, these guys are miles away. So they're like, yeah, we just want to, talk, set the record straight, which is so odd to me. Like, who goes and talks to the cops? We were just talking last night, and quite frankly, don't talk to police, but I digress. So they get in there. It's Murphy and Connor, and they're speaking with Paul, and they start whispering to each other in Gaelic. And Paul's just kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Do you boys know any other languages? And they're like, yeah, yeah, French, Italian. They're kind of speaking it back and forth to each other. And oh, how do you know these languages? Oh, our mom insisted on it. Just kind of living where they live, they kind of have to. And they have coffee and donuts. I'm like, yes, I've got coffee and donuts. I'm glad that keeps coming up. So this is when we get to our first proper flashback. We were flashing back to the bar fight the night before. The big Russian guys were in there. Everything's popping off. Big old fight scene. Because what we saw when we saw the dead bodies was one dude had his head, almost his whole head, completely wrapped up. And the other guy, he's lying on his stomach, and all you see is like him from the back. It looks like his ass cheeks are like bandaged up too. And that's all we know. We'll jump to the bar fight now. What happened was they took the one guy, kind of strapped him down on the bar, poured some alcohol on his backside, and lit his ass on fire. So they burned his cheeks up. That's that happened. I totally forgot about that from the first time I watched it. Yeah, that guy literally got his ass burnt up. And that was kind of all there was to it until the next day. Those guys found Murphy and Connor's, little shitty apartment, and they come busting in. They make Connor handcuff himself to the toilet, and then they take Murphy out, like they're going to take him out into the alley and just, execute him, just shoot him. And, they drag Norman Reedus off, or they drag Murphy off. There's Connor, and he's handcuffed, and he's trying to pull this toilet up. This dude's screaming. They got like the blood around the wrist. He finally gets it pulled off, rips the sucker off, water goes flying. So by the time he gets this off of there, the Russian dudes are already downstairs. They got Murphy down there. It's, like big old trash bin, just a regular ass alley. But way up at the top of the building, there's Connor. He carried that toilet all the way upstairs, got to the edge, and just let it drop. And then you see it drop slow mo. And then there's, Murphy's hiding himself. It just crashes on top of the one dude, knocks his ass out. And then Murphy's able to like get the gun from the other guy and wrestle it, basically, kill these two jerk offs off. And but yeah, they're just there at the police station to say like I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you what happened. Eric, a hysterical movie. Yeah, it ends up being like funny when you wouldn't expect it to be. And they do use a lot of slow motion. Again, it does come off like a tad bit of a lot, but it's not overused. It's not like the way they use it now in movies, which is just like slowing things down for no reason, where this, it kind of makes it's used constructively. It has purpose. But yeah, they were just there to speak to the cops, and when you're just there to speak to the cops, they have to, put you in lockup while they investigate you. So, they are just kind of, there in their bloody clothes. So Rocco shows up with some clothes and their crosses for him. Like, oh, dude, thank you. So they're not just like sitting in jail naked, but as they're like lying there at night, the ceiling is like heavily dripping on them both. They're both getting soaking wet. I don't know how this building is, not being torn down, but that's just we don't get into that. Erica the gay detective, oh my god, yeah, he's got some great lines. Yeah, spoilers. But yeah, so the next day they come back clean, so they get out, and the cops are looking at the newspaper, and it says, the Saints killed two mobsters or something like that. Then they show it to Murphy. He's like, hey, check it out. They think you guys are saints. So he takes his coffee. He's like, body of Christ, whatever. So blessing them with his coffee. Yeah, the newspaper calls them saints. And then they do show, or before that, on his right forearm, there's a giant cross tattoo. That is fake. Norman Reedus does not have a giant cross tattoo on his forearm. He didn't back then, anyway. He didn't when he was on The Walking Dead. So if you're keeping up with Norman Reedus's tattoos, that one is not real. But now we get to Rocco goes to see some guy. And you will recognize this guy. I saw the name. I forgot this man was in the movie. I saw his name in the opening credits. I'm like, where was he in this movie? Anyway, we're now up to the part where Rocco is meeting this dude named Vincenzo. Um, Vincenzo. Dude's got like the 70s shirt, collar out to here. It's red, kind of has a gut. It's Ron Jeremy. That man needs no introduction. I was like, oh shit, there he is. Okay, awesome. But what it is, Rocco's going to see like the big boss. Like if Vincenzo is above him, then the dude, like the dude, yeah. Dandy, LOL, Ron Jeremy. I know, right? But his boss, like the head guy, is this dude named Giuseppe, and he's bald. Uh, Basically the best way to. He does have an accent, and this dude he's on the phone. He's just listening, and Rocco's sitting there super nervous. Ron Jeremy's there just waiting. And Giuseppe's listening. No, no, you tell him. Like he's just going off. He calls somebody an insignificant, which was the way he uses it is much better than the way I just spat it out. But you know he's done arguing on the phone. He hangs up. He's just pissed off. He's like, you're not supposed to tell a guy you're gonna kill him anymore. Takes all of the fun out of the job. So he's just not having a good day. John Rogers. Last I heard, he was in jail. I didn't want to look anybody up. I didn't want to get into that thing like, oh, and they've passed away. So I don't know. I'm just assuming everybody is still alive. I'll look that up later. So there's a Rocco, the funny man, and Giuseppe's like, tell me a joke. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, you're the funny guy, right? Tell us a joke. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you the joke because I'm not gonna be able to do it justice. But it starts out and you think it's gonna fail right away because it's like, while it's a good setup, it's not a very good delivery because this man is nervous and he even stops in it. He's like, I'm not doing a good job. I'm not having a good day. This isn't my best work, and they're still expecting the joke. Anyway, to make a long story short, it has a great punchline, and the guys laugh, and so he's happy he made them laugh. And then the scene ends with he's like, tell me another joke. He's like, what? Patrick, yeah, Ron Jeremy's a porn star. He did some movies in the 70s. If Yeah. If you've seen his work, that's fine. If you haven't seen his work, that's fine too. It's not available on YouTube. I hope not. He looked the same back in the 70s. I'll put it to you like that. So now we see the brothers. They go to some dude. He's obviously Irish with the cap he's wearing. Throw him some money, all this other stuff, and he opens up these doors, lets the boys go in because this dude has all of the guns, all of the weapons. It's a shopping spree. And they're in there grabbing stuff, and almost right away, Connor's like, let's get some rope. Connor's like, Murphy's like, rope? What the hell do we need rope for? He's like, haven't you watched any movies? Like they always end up needing rope for something. Murphy's like, you're full of shit, man. Just whatever with you and your rope. Okay, get it if you want it, but fuck off, rope. So he just thinks it's dumb. And the music in this movie is very noticeable, but not necessarily in a bad way. It is a little bit in your face. So if they are playing a track, you will notice it. It doesn't fade into the background. It doesn't just wash over you. You notice when there's music going on. Oh, one to go to. Thank you. Ron Jeremy as Vincenzo Lapazzi, the Yakovetta's right-hand man. Thank you. Arden said Tolkien said always have some rope. Because of that line, to this day, I've always got some extra rope around, so it can't be bad. Oh, that now we jump to a scene where it's Paul. He's in bed. He's taking a phone call, but right next to him is like another guy, and this dude's trying to like hug on him, get his arm around him. Dude's slapping away while he's on the phone. Finally gets off the phone, hangs up, looks at him. He's like, "What are you doing?" Dude's like, "I just wanted to cuddle." Paul's like, "Cuddle? What a fag." What one of these self-hating gays. Erica, holy cow, is on Wiki a porn star. Who knew? Yeah, let me plug this in. Hang on. Pardon Annie. Sync issues. And for applying product, it's getting hot. When did I turn the heat on? Did I turn the heat on? I think I had the heat off when I started. I have no memory of that. And it was not even an hour ago. That's fun. Yeah, so what it was, Paul was getting a phone call because there was another, mafia hit. Whole room of dead guys. And that's what they show. Everything in this room is very white, very light colored, like eggshell, cream colored, stuff because it makes it stand out more. The fact that there's eight, wait, no, nine dead guys lying around and there's blood everywhere. This is the kind of movie where they use like a little bit extra blood and it's just like a tad bit too red. Like not in a comical way, but more in a like they want it, it was an R-rated movie, but like they didn't want to get like maybe tortury with it, so they just used a little bit extra like red in the blood. And then there's another joke about how it's Paul telling Detective Greeley he wants a coffee. Like they kind of keep that joke going a few times. And it's Willem Dafoe. He's just all over the scene. At one point, he's got gloves on with blood on him. And he's touching his hair, and the other detectives are like, Michael, how did I miss this notification? I know, man. What the hell? What were you doing? This is a thing now. You'll be okay. I don't know how far we are into the movie. I took 5 pages of notes. I'm almost done with page 2, so that's where we're at. Um, but Paul figures it was two guys came in there and killed everybody, and they killed the big guy last, just because like this dude has like two bullet holes in the back of his head, like almost crossing each other. And they're like, well, if it was one guy, he would shoot straight. He wouldn't cock his arms out like that. That doesn't make sense. So it figures it was two dudes. And he was killed last. And they all have like brand new pennies on their eyes. And he explains why you would put pennies on the eyes of a dead person. I assume everybody knows that. So I'm not going to explain it here. You have to give coins to the ferryman. You can watch From Hell. He explains it there. But yeah, they figure it was two guys came in there, killed them all. So now we get another flashback. And it's the brothers are sneaking into this building and they're in the air duct. So it's very Die Hard, very, the first Die Hard. And while they're climbing through, Murphy is pissed because he's carrying the rope and it's 30 pounds and it's heavy as hell. And why do they bring him? And his brother's a dumbass for bringing rope when they're not going to need rope. And Connor's like, shut up, man, we might need it. You don't know everything. He's like, don't tell me to shut up. And so they start fighting. If you've been around brothers, they'll fight at the drop of a hat. So, and I grew up next to some brothers, so this was just, it made sense to me to see these guys, like, while maybe friends might not fight that much, brothers do. So it makes sense to see guys fighting that much. To me, I don't know if they do that as adults, but it does happen. So to see guys fight that much, it's not unusual. That's just what brothers do. So while they're fighting in an air duct, there's no room and it can't hold that much weight. So in the course of their fighting, they end up just bursting through the air duct, falling through the ceiling where all these mafia dudes are, these Russians. And instead of them hitting the floor, what happened is all that rope got tangled around their legs and is holding them up in the air. So they're just hanging around, just like turning slowly, like shooting everybody. So glad they had the rope. And I don't know if I brought it up 3 times, but they brought it up 3 times. So that they the rule of threes. Yeah, get everybody killed. They do, get the big guy last. Some big dude named Yuri. It almost looks like he has like a fake gut. The guy is just so fat. It's like they gave him some extra padding. Michael said, I partied with Ron Jeremy once. Actual evil. I believe it. Danny, yeah, that little river dance. Yeah, Willem Dafoe does a little river dance after they find all those bodies in that room. Like just chewing up the scenery and just on the almost literally just on everything. Dude was having a great time. I don't know what he made on that movie, but he earned it. Now, this is the third time in the film we've heard a voiceover. It's some guy with an accent. We don't know who it is, but this is like the third time it has come up. And there's, again, slow motion in the shots. And then again, Connor does give Murphy shit about, like, I told you we would need the rope. Aren't you glad I brought it? You're not bitching, are you now, huh? Who had the right idea? Who? He didn't, not verbatim, but has to give him shit right back. But as they're kind of like looking around at their handiwork, like, holy shit, look what we did. There's a knock at the door. And they go to, look through the peephole, see what it is. Now, what the brothers did, they're wearing their usual getup with like the black and everything, but they've got their, proper hockey masks on. So they look through the peephole and they see it's Rocco, and he's got like this uniform on. The name tag says Jafar, like he just like beat up some guy and stole his jacket to get into this room. And one of the brothers is like, hey, he doesn't know it. It's us. It's like, let's fuck with him. It's like, yeah. So they open the door, pull the guy in, got guns to his head. Who the fuck are you, motherfucker? We're gonna kill you. They got him around the floor. We're gonna kill you right now. And he's like, oh my god, nice hockey mask. Where'd you guys get him? We're gonna fucking kill you. And he's like all nervous and stuff. They take the masks off. It's like, oh fuck you guys, man. You shouldn't have scared me. Ha ha. Walking all around, like leaving footprints everywhere. Again, you just not worried about leaving any kind of evidence at all. But he had a gun with him, Rocco did. And I forget which brother gets mad. It's like, a 6-shooter? You brought a 6-shooter? What were you going to do with the other 3? Laugh him to death! Like, pissed off. He's like, I don't fucking know. They told me it was 2 guys. I was just here to kill 2 guys, and I was going to run out He thought, Rocco thought he was sent there to kill 2 guys. It turns out being, 9. But then it turns out he didn't have to kill them at all, because the brothers got there first. But that will come up again. Yeah, leave your finger and footprints everywhere, guys. Just absolutely everywhere. You guys did not watch all the Law and Order I watched, but then again, it was only 1999. Yeah, slow motion, fades in and out. So they all go back to, they must be at Rocco's girlfriend's house. Yeah, that must be where they were at. And they're just Rocco's just kind of figuring out what these guys are doing, because they're doing, like, they're killing mafia guys, and they just want to get rid of like all the criminals, the drug dealers, the pimps, like just kill all these people off. And Rocco's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Somebody should do that. And the brothers are like, we are doing that. We're just doing what everybody wants. Like, nobody's getting mad about this. And Rocco's like, yeah, fuck yeah, like, we should do this all the time, like, every day of the week. Like he wants to, like, join up with them, that kind of a thing. And then Murphy has a really good line. He says, we're like 7-Eleven. We're not always doing business, but we're always open. I was like, and then I think Connor's like, yeah, that's well put. Murphy's like, yeah, thanks. And then there's a kitty cat. There's a little gray and white kitty cat who's just like kicking it with them because like this is the party scene. Like they're drinking their beers and Murphy's playing around with his gun a little bit too much for my liking. I'm just gonna assume that it was empty and they're smoking out on the balcony and smoking cigarettes and eating pizza and just having a good time, just staying up all night kicking it. And they get into having another conversation again. Like there's like paraphernalia, guns, stuff like that, just on this table. And at one point, Rocco just gets excited. He kind of smashes his hand down. He must have hit like there was a gun on the table because he smashes his hand down and just bam, you just see red on the wall because that's where the cat was. And they all jump up like, holy shit. Murphy's like, I can't believe that just fucking happened. It's shot in such a way that it's like his hand goes down and then you can tell it was like a cut and then they have to do an explosion of red on the wall. So it's not like they took like a a, a toy animal and like threw it at the wall and put fake blood on it. So it's not like in a disturbing kind of way. And they really don't focus on it like they don't like do an extended shot of like blood on the wall, so it's not really that traumatizing. And again, for somebody who is not into animal abuse at all, they really kind of like skim over it, so it's not like in your face about it. It's just a thing that happens really quickly. RIP kitty cat, at least it didn't hurt. So that sucks, but you're not gonna really have nightmares about it. Um, so what it is, Connor is getting pissed off because, oh, Jenna, glad you made it. Connor is figuring this out, and he kind of figures it out with Murphy, and then they're trying to tell Rocco. They're like, "No, dude, you don't understand. Your mafia bosses were trying to get you killed." Jenna said, "I see it's Siskel and Ebert time, yeah." Because they're like, dude, they sent you in there with a 6 shooter, told you it was 2 guys, and it was a room full of dudes. Like how, that is a setup. They were trying to get you killed. He's like, oh no, 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 because they told me it was the 2 guys. I was just gonna run out of there if it was more. And they're like, no, no, that wouldn't have worked. You dumbass, you don't get it. They want you dead, and he's not believing it. He doesn't think that they would try to kill him. He thinks the brothers are full of shit, and you'll just fuck off. They do use a lot of um I guess I don't want to say racist words. I guess they might be offensive to some people, like wops and like Mexicans or spics and things like that and other words. But I'm online, so I'm used to hearing those kind of words. So it didn't kind of, I wasn't like, oh, they said this word. Dandy, yeah, you didn't see anything, just the blood. It's digestible. Yeah, it's just the after effect of it. We're not seeing, it's not like doom. They don't harp on it. But yeah, Rocco's like just not. He's like, they wouldn't try to kill me. I've been with these folks for my whole life. You're full of shit. Fuck you guys. You guys do what you want. I'm just walking away right now. Jenna, that's all right. You can still hang out. Maybe my terrible review will make you want to watch it. No, these actually go a lot better when I watch them back. And Pepsi product placement. If you didn't notice those Pepsi cans there, I sure did. Just not sponsored. It's like, oh, there's Pepsi, and then it's they're on the phone with Rocco, and he says catch you on the flip side, like you just hear him say that. I'm like, oh, he said the thing. Wait, yeah, I wrote the junkie girlfriend and her friend come home, so it's some girl and another chick. They just look like strung out hookers, but that's their house, so they walk in, and they're just like there, and then the brothers are just kind of hanging out there. Everybody's just there. Anyway, Rocco comes flying through the door, This man, you've never seen this man so panicked in the whole movie. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go right now. Grab his shit. Grab his shit. We gotta go. And this man is just, he's grabbing everything. He's grabbing an iron. He's grabbing just stuff, cash, all this stuff. Like, they cannot get this man to calm down for enough. They're like, dude, calm down. What the fuck? Just shut up. Tell us what's going on. Shut the fuck up and calm down. Michael telling Jenna, just talk trash on Boondock Saints. Like, don't show up to this thinking I was going to talk about the Boondocks, because that's a whole, I don't even know how long that TV show ran for, and I don't think I've seen all of the episodes, so not that, unfortunately. Anyway, this dude is freaking out, and in the middle of his freak out, the brothers can't get him to calm down, but the girlfriend and her friend, they're like, Rocco! He's like, what? She's like, where's my cat? He's like, your cat? I killed your cat. She's like, oh no, my little, He's like, what? Tell me that fucking cat's name. Pulls out his gun. He's like, I'll blow my fucking brains out if you can tell me that cat's name right now. And like Skippy, Fluffy, she can't think of it. She's just such a junkie. She cannot think of this cat's name. But then the girlfriend's friend is trying to give Rocco shit. And he's like, shut your fat mouth. He says, I can't buy a pack of smokes without running into 9 guys you fucked. Might be the best line of the whole film, and this film has some great lines. But after that, that's when we get to the clip that you see at the end of Quite Frankly for the last few years. Dude's at the payphone, he's catch you on the flip side. Just hangs up. That's right before he walks into, it's like a diner, coffee shop, middle of the day, and there's folks in there, guy behind the counter working, folks at the counter. Rocco walks in a little bit. It's kind of L-shaped, and he kind of goes around the corner, and these 2 dudes recognize him. And Rocco's like, hey, what's up? And these guys are like so smug, like they just did something cool or something good. Like it sounds like they just did something for the family. And if we're going to be made guys now, huh? They're going to have to respect us now, huh? Aren't they? To his buddy. It's a little, I had to go back and rewind it. It was a little bit disjointed. I'm like, did I miss something here? Am I just not able to pay attention? I don't understand why this is not clicking for me. But in the course of these guys, yeah, Michael, Boondock Saints is not the Boondocks. Daddy, yes, that was funny to see the payphone scene, because he says the line first, and I'm like, wait, that's the exact same way he says it. So, like, I know they, like, recorded that line first, and then, like, just played the audio for that scene. But then they actually, like, played the actual scene for a second. It was, like, being, quite frankly, in the morning, because I was watching that at, like, 10 or 11 or noon, whenever it was. But, yeah, that's what it is. But, as these 2 guys, because they're all part of the same crime family, but they are, just kind of giggling to themselves because Vincenzo, Ron Jeremy was in there bragging about how, what did I get it exactly? Just a second. Vincenzo shot his mouth off, told those 2 guys, told the guy working behind the counter that Russian mob hit that they sent Rocco on with those 9 dudes in there, that was a setup. They did send him in there to get killed with that 6-shooter, knowing there were 9 dudes in there. And Rocco just flips the fuck out, absolutely loses his shit, shoots those 2 guys. 2 folks at the counter book it out of there. Guy behind the counter gets shot too. Like, oh, this is so fucking funny, isn't it? What's funny now? Danny, I rewound that part too. Thought I missed something too. I'm like, yeah, am I, like, I've been paying attention the whole time. I'm sober. What did I miss? And I didn't want to spend like 4 hours watching a 2-hour movie rewinding things. So I'm like, okay, can't do that in the theater. Let's get on with it. But yeah, they kind of say it really. I had to put on subtitles too. It was that serious. But yeah, that was actually, they were really just trying to get him killed because he just kind of comes off like a screw up. Like, funny guy, but just kind of a screw up. So that's why he was bursting in, flipping out. We got to get out of town. We got to get out of town. All that stuff because he just killed, 3 people in broad daylight. But the brothers are like, calm down, calm down. It's going to be fine. But then Rocco starts thinking, he's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to run away because I know every single thing about this crime family. I know where they live. I know where they work. I know where they vacation. I know who they're fucking. We could take them down. We could take them all down. Let's, like, why not? What else do they have to do? So, like, that's seems like the plan of action. Uh, let's see. And this is when they are outside of the titty bar. Again, broad daylight. So now we get a flashback, and it's the fellas, it's Murphy and Connor and Rocco. They're at the titty bar, and they know that Vincenzo, Ron Jeremy's character, they're like this dude is in there busting a nut to the same stripper like every night of the week, and he never misses. So we know we can catch this dude here, with his pants down, kill him. So that they're gonna bust in, and there's the brothers. They're all professional with their jeans and their dark tops and their ski masks. And Rocco's there. He just looks like he has it almost looks like some kind of like sleeve of a sweater that he just like cut holes in for the eyes and the mouth. And Connor says he looks like a character from the Cosby Kids. And he really does. I can't think of the character's name, but like dude had like the thing pulled over his head. But he looks silly, and he like goes to take it off. They're like, no, 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 wear it, wear it. It makes you look very scary. It's very nice. Just laughing at him the whole time. Michael, I dated a black/Jewish journalist until I made a reference to the Boondocks, and she racially freaked out. Exhausting. Oh no, did she have the itis? I'm Uncle Ruckus. No relation. I wrote a song on the way over. Sing along if you know the words. I don't remember the whole song. I wouldn't sing it. I don't sing on this channel. If you get a chance to watch the Boondocks, check it out. Now what they're doing, this is a bit more while they're doing like the flashback showing the crime, they're like jumping back to the present with Paul figuring it out with the other cops. So rather than them being like completely separate, it jumps back and forth a lot more. Like we see the brothers doing something, we see Paul figuring it out, we see the brothers do something else, we see Paul figuring it out. Michael, yeah, Rocco's mask was hilarious. It's like, no, 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 it makes you look scary. I guess you can take it off, but no, put it on. It looks good. Just how you give your friends shit when they're like trying their best. But they go in there, and it made me think of the Open Your Heart video, because it's like that big room, and then like you have like the things come up, like the people pay their money because it's like a peep show, and like the girls in the middle. But in each of these little like booths, like they've got the little TVs, so you can like get yourself started, whatever you want to do with like the porn playing. And that's what it is. It's like Ron Jeremy, Vincenzo. He's in the room, and he's kind of, going to town with himself. They don't show it. They don't show it. Well, like the porn's playing, he's like, just saying stuff. What happens was the guys break in. There's like this stripper there, and like cover her mouth. Like you scream, bitch, we're gonna kill you. Where is he? And, she points over to which one he's in, and just like while that like each little like door has a little peephole so they can look inside, see who it is. Bam, shoot the guy. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's just having fun with himself in there. I want to go to Smeckler. Allow me to enlighten you, gentlemen, to the protocol of the porno industry. As I'm sure you've never been in one of these places before, a man goes into the booth, puts the money in the slot, the dancer gets it on the other side, she hits the button, door goes up. Now there is only glass between you, and it makes a masturbatory gesture with his hand. Little fireman time. Thank you very much, because that's he does have to explain to the guys how the whole, like, stripper situation porno industry works. Like they don't know. Michael, you look scary. I wish I could do the accent because he does it in the Irish accent and it's so cute. You look scary. But the thing is, there is not just one dead body there. There are many dead bodies in there. That's like, because it's not just the one room. It's like, I don't know how many, like 8, but there's like dead guys in each one. So what they figured what happened is, like the one guy gets shot, and then like just it's like somebody was standing in the middle and shooting like this, and then shooting like this at folks, across the way, because it's set up like a 8-sided octagonal thing, like Midgar if it was a titty bar. Midgar titty bar. That's it. I'm writing that down. That's hilarious. Oh god, Midgar titty bar or Tifa's Seventh Heaven. But yeah, they do figure out it was 3 guys because like the 2 guys shot the one dude, and somebody else was doing all this shooting this away, so it's definitely 3 folks. And but like how did this girl survive when everybody else died? And they just figured she just passed out from just being seeing people die. She fainted. And that's what happens. All these folks die. This girl just kind of falls out, collapses, but she was wearing her, stripper clothes, so she falls out. Bam, her chest's open. Her top's open, so her chest is exposed. So there's Rocco there, and he's just kind of looking over, just, going to grab a tit, gets his hand on one, and then Connor, one of them, was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Sorry, sorry, sorry." Like, you pervert. And that reminds me of we had a guy calling it Quite Frankly after a shootout because he was a cop. We thought it was going to be a cool story, and all it was he saw some passed out girl naked. And so it reminds me of that. One to go to. We got us a genuine Kennedy assassination style bullet theory. 2 guns were used here, guns A and B. The guy in the middle was done by both, but this guy, Michael, who in the world actually has gone to those window rooms? Has anybody ever gone to a old school titty bar, Open Your Heart by Madonna music video type situation? If it was you, you can say a friend went. No judgment. How much was it? What year was it? Was the girl hot? Did they have food? Was it in New York? Yeah, but he does have to sit there and explain how a peep show works. And then they do flashback to how, Rocco's shooting up those other people since they're there to kill. They're like, well, these guys are just a bunch of perverts who are probably just going to go home and, like, I don't know, beat their wives and girlfriends or give them STDs or something like that. They ought to die too. So that's why everybody died there. Midgard titty bar. One to go to. I plead the 5th. That's safe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And they keep every so often they cut to this reporter chick, and she's just basically talking about what the fellas have been up to, and just how they would report on that kind of thing on the news. And finally, now this chick's up there. She's like, yeah, all these murders are going on, but since it's just a bunch of criminals, nobody's really calling for it to stop. Everybody's cool with it. And then the boys do, before they're going to, like, kill somebody, that they both say this prayer. And I'm sure it's like a proper, regular, some kind of Catholic prayer that maybe I used to know the whole thing of, and I just can't remember now. But they, I wouldn't want to try to repeat it. Just, I don't want to be disrespectful. But they always do like this like prayer beforehand, and Rocco's like, "That is so cool. You guys got to teach me that. That is awesome. That's badass." Wally World, do they even exist anymore with online porn? I mean, maybe in like other countries. I don't know if they're in the U.S. You know, maybe in like Vegas, something like that. Danny, I've got friends in low places. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure if I ask enough guys, I might find one who would admit to that. But that's it's kind of like a step above buying a hooker, which is very low. One to go to my dad's favorite line. Yeah, I plead the fifth. Michael, I think boob windows were probably strictly 70s through the 90s. Yeah, could be. Like, you know, Disney cleaned up Times Square. Well, cleaned up in a sense. But Paul is sort of uh pissed because there was this, you know, coffee shop shooting and nobody told him about it. He's like, "Why was I not informed? Like, you don't think these could be connected? Like, you didn't think you should tell me?" Just, you know, just pissed off he was not told about it because he's certain. Okay, these folks killed in the coffee shop early in the day, folks killed in the titty bar earlier in the day. They have to be related somehow. And these guys are not going to stop either. Like, they're just getting started. This is not just a that one and done thing. John Rogers' big joke on Facebook was Limo's Lounge in Cleveland. LOL. Oh, Lito's Lounge. Okay. Oh, one to go to. And shepherds we shall be for thee, my Lord, for thee. Power hath descended forth from thy hand. Our feet may swiftly carry out thy commands, so we shall flow a river forth to thee. And teeming with souls shall it ever be in nomine patri et filii spiritus sancti. Pardon if my Latin is not up to snuff. Thank you, one to go to. That's the one. And then bullets and blessing and now we see it is how did it go? Giuseppe goes to see this old man. His name is Augustus. He's retired from the being a like a head mafioso guy, but he still, you know, knows people, knows things. And what Giuseppe needs is El Duce. And this is some dude that they show this guy. He's locked up. He's the guy that they use whenever they have to take out one of their own. And they've only ever had to use this guy 3 times. But this dude has been locked up for like 25, 30 years, and they don't even know if he's still alive or even if he would, you know, feel like helping them. Dandy said, "Night, everyone. Thanks, Nikki. Gotta head out. Have a great night." Yeah, thanks for showing up. Oh, Francois, glad you made it. Il Duce is the guy that they're looking for. The Duke. They call him by both names. But they want Il Duce to kill Rocco since Rocco knows everything about them. And he, you know, they can't have that, so he has to be taken out. Oh, Michael says the Boondock Saints prayer is pretty legit. I really like that part. I forgot about that part too. I'm like, wait, they're praying? Oh yeah, why wouldn't they? With all the religious stuff. Cool, cool, yeah. Oh yeah, here's this guy, criminal dude, you know, killer dude, no women, no kids. They roll this guy out. It's Billy Connolly, the biggin. And he doesn't say a word. He's just like standing there. He's just very quiet. They got to put a cage around this guy. You know, just comes off very scary. Again, this man does not speak a word. He's just standing there like, okay, who knows what this guy's going to do? One to go to Billy Connolly as Noah El Duce McManus, the father of Connor and Murphy, and a famous mob assassin. Yeah, spoilers. Now Rocco tells us the boys a story. He's like, man, this was the worst night of my life I ever had. So he picks up some dude, like trench coat, hat, doesn't say a word. This guy doesn't like sneeze, clear his voice, nothing. But Rocco drives this dude to a house. The dude goes inside, kills the family, cleans it all up, like it's like he's ordering a pizza, is how this guy puts it. And he is just a smooth operator, and it just creeped him out to no end. But he figures, hey, if we want to kill off the guys trying to kill us, let's find this dude, hire him. He'll definitely get the job done. Creepy as he is. Oh right, all right. Yeah, now I know where I'm at. John Rogers. I will watch Tron and the Three Beermen. That's a movie I have not seen. Is Tron. So now we're flashing back to it's Paul is narrating this, but it's the boys, it's Murphy and Connor and Rocco. They need to break into this. It's like just this like nice house. They're breaking into this room, and it's just these mobster guys gambling. Like there's a pool table. They might be playing poker. They're just kicking it in there. They're not really. I mean, like I don't even think they had their guns on them. That might have been how bad it was because they thought they were safe. But it's this room full of guys that the boys break in. They shoot everybody, and except the last guy in the bathroom, that guy kind of fights back, so that's a bit of a hassle. But they get everybody put down, and this is the most disgusting floor you've ever seen. The entire floor is leopard print. I kind of don't even want to think about this scene because the floor just is so gross. And the way they kill this one dude is um Rocco's fighting with this dude. Like the guy's on top of him, Rocco's fighting with him. So Murphy rolls a pool ball over to him. Dude gets it in his hand and just like bashes a dude in the head. So when they find the body, his head's all fucked up. They're like, yeah, we think this was personal. And Paul also thinks it was six guys due to the amount of bullets everywhere. Because what happens is, while they're showing the crime, like they tase this lady to get inside. Like Paul's actually standing there while the guys are going through the motion. So we're getting it like both at the same time. But after like they kill everybody, they're walking out. This, like middle of the day, this nice white house. The three fellas step out there. There's a dude across the street, and it's Billy Connolly, El Duce. So he's wearing like this full black getup. He's got a cool hat on. He's smoking a cigar, trench coat, sunglasses, and what it is, dude is just strapped up, giving me Vincent Valentine vibes. And he's got like six guns on him, so he just whips out the first two. He's just shooting away at the guys. Everybody gets hit. They get Norman Reedus, sorry, Murphy gets hit in the arm, and Connor gets hit in the leg, and they shoot off one of Rocco's fingers. I forget which one, but like it's shot clean off. It goes flying somewhere into the bushes. He's grabbing his hand. It's a whole thing. But they also shoot El Duce. He gets hit, I think, in the arm, so he's got to kind of back off and just leave. And the guys are just like, are you all right, come on, let's get out of here. Whoa, wait, they gotta spray the blood with something before they go, and then they just fuck off. And that's where you get that line, there was a firefight. That line, another great line. Of course I can't do it justice. And the one of the cops is like, uh what if it was just one guy with six guns? Paul's not trying to hear that. Just no, just absolutely not. But he does find a finger in the bushes somewhere. So it's like it evidence, cool, got this. So they cut to it's just like the slow motion and some opera playing, like the guys are all beat up. And that's why Rocco got the iron, because they're like ironing his finger to stop the bleeding. And they're getting Murphy got his left arm shot. Yeah, Connor got his right leg shot. So it's like taking the iron to that, and it's just it's very ouch. But you've got to do what you got to do. I hope they had Percocet. I wrote that down. After all that pain, dude, you got to be on something. I don't think alcohol is going to get you through that. But now we're back over to Paul, and he's got the finger, and he's listening to his opera. So he's like fingerprinting the finger and getting the information on it. And it pulls up this information for David such and such. It's Rocco. And it shows birthday on the screen. The character 6/20/63. And Paul's looking at the screen like, that guy? Like that screw up guy? He was there? Like, doesn't believe his own information. And then later on, we see him in a bar, and he wants another drink. He calls the bartender a fairy, and everybody notices him say that. So I'm like, oh, he's in the gay bar. Like, he's just one of them self-hating fags. And then there's a shot where I think Paul is outside. You can see in the background an express store. I remember those. Couldn't shop in them, but I remember those. But this dude he's been in the bar all morning, day drinking. This dude is drunk as fuck, and it's like 1 p.m. And he stumbles out of the bar, and he just happens to stumble into a church, and he goes into the confession booth thing, just plops himself down in there. I thought he was going to pass out in there. Like, dude, it's not even 3 p.m. yet. But what happened is Connor saw him, or I'm sorry, Rocco saw him stumble in there. So when Paul goes in there, Rocco grabs the priest, and he's like, okay, shut up, don't let him know I'm in here. Like, he thinks he's going to shoot Paul through the screen. Well, he really can't do that because, is it Connor saw him go in there, and he kind of like sticks his hand through the other confessional, grabs Rocco's head. He's like, shut the fuck up, don't say one single fucking thing. Are you fucking stupid? And so like he's like holding his friend's head back while the priest is talking to Paul. And again, Paul again is drunk as fuck, middle of the day. And he's just kind of like bewildered by the whole situation, because he's like, they go around killing all these people as if they had God's permission. And the priest is like, starts to say like, whoa, whoa, God doesn't tell anybody that they can. But he just keeps talking and just about what these guys were doing. And the priest is talking about how like, well, you're here today because God brought you here, and God's law is higher than man's. And he's like, wow, I never thought of it about that before, but you're right. I just needed to hear somebody say it, because I'm supposed to uphold the law, but all these guys are doing is killing mafia type guys, and I honestly don't see a problem with that. So like he's like morally not objected to what these guys are doing, but like it's his job to catch them. So that's kind of like where he is at with it. He's like, sorry, I got to track you guys down, but it's my job. But other circumstances, I'd be cheering you on. Oh, one to go to. Yeah, thank you. Smeckler's flashback real quick, because when he's running the fingerprint, he's thinking Rocco, that guy. He remembers seeing Rocco, like he said, Rocco on the steps of the police station when he brought the boys their clothes, when he brought the crosses to them. Michael's super wholesome to one to go to. All right. So after Paul stumbles out of there, Rocco is, Connor, tells Rocco he's a dumbass, so he leaves. And Rocco tells the priest, he's like, look, you can't tell anybody I was here. Nobody can know about this. And the priest is just like, just leave. Just go. Just go. Leave. Go. Bye. Just can't get him out of there fast enough. Just get this guy out of here. So Connor calls Paul to tell him about like the old man with the 6 guns. And so he knows it was the guy with 6 guns now. And then so Paul decides to go to that old man Augustus, the higher up retired guy who's part of, Rocco's crime family. He's like, who's this Il Duce guy, that he's just hearing about? And Augustus is like, well, the family is scared of Rocco since he knows everything about it. I am wearing a rosary, Michael. Yeah, I decided to wear my rosary for this since the boys wear rosaries. So I've had this since I know I had this in 2010, but I don't remember exactly where I got it from. It's black and gold. And I just remember this today. I'm like, wait, I've got a rosary. The guys wear rosaries in the movie. I can wear one for that. That would work. And then, like with the Not Today Satan shirt, it's very Easter. So after we find out that like the crime family is afraid of Rocco, we jump to another scene where it's Giuseppe's guys found, all 3 of the guys trying to break into his place. Michael's like, glory to God, that's great to see. Yeah, thank you. I wore it to I wore this to a concert. I also wore a cross ring, but like I have the ring part, but the cross actually broke off. But I kept the ring, like the part that went around my finger. That must mean something. So now we see the boys. It's Murphy and Connor and Rocco, and they're in some kind of, like, I assume it's a basement, sat down in chairs, getting, beat up, punched. They got blood on the face. They're all 3, in a bad way. They've been found out. They're not going to have a good night. So they decide they're going to teach him a lesson, and they take Rocco's good hand that isn't wrapped up, that did just have a finger taken off. And I think, again, they don't really like quite show it that much. It's like they show him kind of like holding like his hand, his fingers down, so his pinky's up, and then like holding like a gun up to it, and then like, bang, and then there's blood, and he's screaming. So like they don't show it fly off or anything, but they did just shoot off another one of his fingers. Dude screaming. It's a bad time. It really sucks. And then they leave the guys in there to think about it. So like it's like the guys that brought him in and Giuseppe all meet. It's maybe like 6 of them talking in another room. Oh, sorry. Want to go to set Smecker's character arc. I'm beginning to see I've been doing my job well for 15 years, and it's just not enough. All the things I wish I could do, these guys are doing. Yeah, that's basically what it is. That's him. So he's a very frustrated individual with very nice hair, Paul is. But anyways, the guys have their little powwow and they figure, well, it's the brothers are the ones who are behind everything, orchestrating this, figuring out who they're going to kill. Rocco's just along for the ride. He's no mastermind. He's not helping them. He just knows stuff about the family. He's not helping out with the crime stuff. He's just kind of like along for the ride. What the hell do we even need him around for? Michael, yeah, they for sure show them suffering, though. Yeah, they do show that for as much, like straight up killing as they don't really harp on. They do have a lot of like suffering. These guys really do go through it. Then they use like the slow motion and the opera to really drive it in. They're not having a very good St. Patrick's Day weekend. Yeah, so the guys, the other mafia folks are like, yeah, Rocco don't know shit. So Giuseppe's like, yeah, well, if he doesn't know nothing, I guess he doesn't need to be around. So he just turns around and just walks in there with his gun, shoots Rocco in the chest. Dude goes flying back. The brothers can't do anything, they're handcuffed, so that they're just screaming as their friend is, shot in front of them. And like Norman Reedus, actually, or I'm sorry, Murphy actually, like gets his chair knocked over trying to get close to his friend while he's dying. It's just you can't do anything for somebody with a hole in their chest. It really sucks. So R.I.P. to him. That sucked. But they shouldn't have killed his friend because he just pissed off the brothers. So they find a way to get themselves unhandcuffed and get themselves out. And next thing you know, they're like swinging chairs and beating up the other mafia guys to break themselves out of there because they just killed his friend, their friend, and that's not cool. Michael says Rocco was accepting of his bad outcome, kind of the best dude. Yeah, yeah, like he kind of knew what he was in for. Oh, what's up, too? J5000 and Pickled Gamer, glad you made it. Then they show Paul shows up to this like big rich house. This man is in full on drag. Like he's got the makeup on, the nails done, the wig, the whole thing. And so this guy, they do think he's a girl. This one guy, lets him in, thinks he's gonna bang this hooker for 5 minutes. Some other guy's like, "What are you doing, bringing people in here for?" He's like, "Dude, just 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. I'll be quick, then I'll get rid of her." It's like, "Okay, fine, whatever. You fucking perverts, gross." So he brings Paul into the bathroom while he's in drag, and then like Paul's like lying on the ground, he puts his hand back like that, it pulls his wig off, so like dude realizes, hey, this is not a girl. Anyway, Paul shoots him, kills him. Then he kind of realizes he's in too deep. He just murdered, some mafioso guy. So the door opens up, there's that first guy that they saw, like, "Hey, don't bring this hooker in here." Paul shoots that guy too, and he's just in too deep, so it's just can't get found out, gotta shoot the guy. And then he finds some guy just like sitting in the house with his throat's already been slit. But then you turn around, El Duce's there, and he knocks Paul out. He does say something. This is the first time we ever see him speak on camera. Like, oh, "That's the guy who was narrating." Want to go to Joey Bevo? Oh, that's what. Oh, yeah. Joey Bevo sent me over as entertainment. Yeah, that's probably something I should have watched back because I knew he showed up in drag in the movie, but I couldn't remember exactly why. Um, Guy must have been into some butch ladies. And it just ends up there. Like that's it. We fade to black. We come back to this. It's 3 months later, and it's Giuseppe is on trial because, like, suddenly there's these 17 dead people around him, and he's the only one who looks guilty, so he's the one who is on trial. And of course, it's a big deal because it's a mafia guy on trial. And then next thing you know, you see it's the brothers and El Duce walking in, like they're all in black. They've got their equipment in bags. They're throwing it over the metal detectors so they can walk in, and they're busting in on the trial. And it's all three of them working together, and basically this guy is responsible for all these deaths, so they're going to execute this dude in front of everybody in the room, and everybody has to watch, including this one girl. She's not trying to look, she's got her head down, she's nervous. Dude puts his hand under her chin, he's like, "You have to watch this." And they do their prayer thing. It's the three of them, standing behind the dude, and dude is very defiant. Like he knows he's gonna get shot. He's still talking shit, even though he's got like three guns in the back of his head. I want to go to. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, it'll all be over soon. They shoot this guy. They, did their justice thing. Anyway, so now we're cutting to like it's nighttime and it's maybe like just some random ass house, and it's the three of them just sort of sitting there in the dark, and it's the well, like spoilers from somebody else's comment, but if you haven't figured out now from the voiceover and the spoiler earlier that El Duce, the Duke, is Murphy and Connor's dad, and they're just kind of sitting there in a kind of a darkish room, and the El Duce is like, when O'Connor said, "How far are we going to go with this staff?" No, it's not dad, it's D-A, da. And he tells him the question is not how far, the question is, do you possess the constitution, the depth of faith to go as far as is needed? And it just um that's sort of where it ends with the fellas, because then we cut to like the news reporter chick, and it's like, well, here's what the man on the street thinks of what these guys are doing. And you get the whole nine. Somebody's like, oh, I feel safer walking down the street, and somebody else is like, oh, you're crazy, these people are maniacs, and somebody's like, I don't think they want to be famous, and another person's like, oh, these guys just want to be famous. And it's just like all these I had no comment, and just these random ass opinions that you would just get from anybody on a situation like that. Some people are for it, some people are against it. You got like one friend for it, one friend against it, and then it just like fades out to the credits, and that's just how it ends up. But knowing that there is a part two, like they did leave it wide open for that, didn't they? Um, oh, okay, and I remember even less about the second one. But yeah, that's just basically the Boondock Saints from 1999. Very cool action flick. There's there's nothing to not like about it. I don't know what you would not want to. It kind of felt longer in a good way. I couldn't believe it's something like an hour 49 minutes. It could have been a 2 hour movie, 2 hour 10 minute movie. I was entertained for all of it. So I'm really glad you guys chose it. I have not again seen that in so long. So like part of it was like I don't remember half of the stuff, and the other part was like I sort of remembered it. So it was good to have that mixture of that experience watching it. And the fact that so many people liked it and have probably already seen it, that was very cool. J5000, they certainly have more resources these days. Oh, yeah, the one to go to Connor, there will come the day when you look behind you and see we three, and on that day you will reap it. And then Murphy says, and we will send you to whatever God you wish. That's what they say. Yeah. Art said, can we do the man who would be king? I can definitely put that in. And anything you guys gotta want to watch for February, you've got a whole week to suggest it, because I'll put up a poll on February the 1st. That way we can got a little schedule now. Yeah, I'm gonna put the vote poll up February 1st and then have it final on the 8th. So all this week, if you want to suggest a movie, you can put it in again the comments of any of the videos or any of the posts on the community posts on YouTube or on Twitter. But yeah, Arden, there's The Man Who Would Be King. As long as that's still going to be available for February on Tubi, then yes. And then again, YouTube, Tubi. I'm going to check out Pluto TV for movies since that's apparently free. And I assume it's always available. Now, Tubi did that thing again the other day, didn't want to show me anything because a game was on. That's such bullshit. I'll check it out because I don't know exactly when. Because if you go in the middle of the month, it's not going to say anything. But you go towards the end of the month, and then Tubi shows you up in the corner. You know, like how many days left it has until it's gonna. Like they take them away at the end of the month, so you get that little countdown timer in the corner. Oh. So I'll see. I'll keep that one in mind because I do still have that saved. I do want to watch that. So I got The Man Who Would Be King. I've got another one in mind. Anything you think we would like, and according to Frankly's, everybody sort of likes everything, so it can be like a silent film, black and white film. It doesn't necessarily have to be maybe not like a multi-part documentary, not a full-on TV show, something movie length, just to get something to watch for February. I do want to do these once a month. I'm glad I now doing it now. It's been so long since we didn't do one for December. I wish we did now, but that month just got away from me. But yeah, Again, I'm glad you guys picked it. It's a good action movie. It's got just a little bit of everything. It's got Ron Jeremy. I totally forgot he was in it. And just that retro feeling of it. Arden, yeah, Go West, Young Man. Yep, yep, that one is awesome. That is one of my like the like any of the Mae West like the Go ones like Go West or Go West, Young Man and Go Into Town. It would be cool to get a Mae West film in there. That I do have the one I'm thinking of. I was already thinking of for last month to watch for February is Black and White. Are those Michael? Are those like channels you listen to? Oops, I didn't mean to open that. I meant to open this. I've got water bottles keeping my phone charger, or not my phone charger, but the laptop charger up in the air so the fan can hit it. Come bottle of water. It would be cool if they had the second Boondock Saints up there. I would imagine it would have come up in a search when I searched it up, and then it would just be a matter of you guys. Oh yeah, have a good night, Arden. Voting for it. Michael said I was one of the idiots that listened to the advice to go west, young man. Just sitting there on the edge of California, like, what do I do now? There's just water. They don't mention this in the film. I forget which one it is. One of those Mae West films. It might be Go West Young Man, but it's the one where like they get to the boarding house and it's run by it's like the one lady owns it, but then she's got the older lady living there that might be her mother, and then they've got like this younger like girl who's sort of working for them. Okay, Michael, are they is it like current events type of stuff? J5000, one night PG and I went to dinner and had drinks. After we went next door to a used music shop, PG ended up surprising me with this Boondock Saints lamp. That is their guns. Holy shit, no way. And they do, if you are interested in firearms, they do some very like close-up shots of what they have. So if you do need to like buy the same weapons that they had in the film because you're that much of a fan, I'm sure you can like pause it and find out what they are if you can't recognize them on sight. So I think I will save talking about the Friday show, quite frankly, for Monday, since Frank is not on this Monday, the 27th. And he did reiterate that the last time he was live, he's got to go to something about them wanting to take the building and turn it into apartments. And so he's got to go to City Hall or town meeting or board of doing dumb shit to buildings and tell them they're dumbasses for wanting to do that. Oh, J5 said, I love that he surprised me. It really isn't something I would use. We still have it, but don't know what to do with it. I just need like a special spot for the lamp. Like if you have a lava lamp, you can put it somewhere special. Oh, J5, yeah, she said I should send it to Frank. That would be cool. If it doesn't like flash or spin, it would be cool to like see sitting on the desk. That would be awesome. You could like, or even like, stick it in like Matt's corner, so it's just always there. Oh, cool. Michael said, no way, not current events. Legitimately brilliant musicians, especially Benjamin Todd and Jono Leroy. Says I think I'd enjoy. What kind of music do they do? Like everything, or uh, like modern, like dance, like trap music or like older stuff. Anything is fine. Doing some big band music in 2025. Uh, it is. I'm just looking at next week. Yeah, other than Frank being off on Monday, it is just a regular, frankly, week. Yeah. And then we'll do the roughly, well, not the same thing next Saturday. It won't be another movie review, but we will be here. Just because I doubt Frank's going to be doing his Saturday show a week from today. But he did say this. He did say something about if he went live on Saturday. He didn't say which one, but he did say something like 9 p.m. Like, okay, I can work with that. Let's say he does go live at 9 p.m. on Saturday. That means I could go live. I would have to go live a half an hour earlier just to get done a half an hour sooner, just to let the stuff cool down before I go to, quite frankly, for 2 hours. So if I had a computer, I could go like 7 to 9, and then Frank would be live for his thing. But since it's a laptop, I would just start at half an hour earlier in that case. That way we can still get our hangout time here. Plus, we get to go to Frank. Michael, they're punk homeless street kid travelers that got rich playing country and play country music. Oh, cool! More power to them. You gotta love buskers, any or street musicians, whatever you want to call them. That was the one thing I did like about New York City, the free entertainment, because there was graffiti just chest high everywhere. So you got these like pops of color, and almost anytime you went to a subway, there was a street performer. One dude was on the violin playing the theme for The Godfather. Another dude was playing something very patriotic on a flute right by the where the Twin Towers were. All kinds of different music. Yeah, did you like the Boondock Saints? Was it a? Did you guys pick a good movie, or did you? Because I didn't pick it, you guys did. So if you don't like it, that's your own fault. It was actually neck and neck. It was actually it was almost like Boondock Saints did win out, but then it was, I want to say, The Man Who Would Be King was, it was almost 50-50 with that. So I didn't know if it was going to have to go into like watch two movies or do a sudden death poll. So I don't know how you guys would want to do that. If two movies did get chosen, would you want to watch two movies in a month, or would you rather just pick one over the other? I don't know how. Maybe I'll have to put up a poll about that because I don't know how you guys would want to handle it. I like that, Michael. That he's saying I would love Benjamin Todd. Like folks that just sort of have nothing and just scrape it all together and become something. I love those kind of stories versus oh well, my grandfather and my dad got me into the business. It's like you didn't earn it, you just stepped into it. I don't have any respect for that. Or if you do have famous parents and you get into the same line of work, I'm expecting more from you because you should be better at this. J5000, there was such a great story behind Boondock Saints. Also, did you guys discuss it? Yeah, I just talked about the movie. I think I did pretty well. I don't know if I had 5 pages of notes for the 3 hour movie, but this was definitely, I think it's because I'm getting to the end of this notebook. So it's a, yeah, Around the World in 80 Days was only 4 pages of notes. So this this had a beat and it was an hour shorter. There were some great lines in there that I just had to write down to save back. Lots of good one-liners in this, good music, shot well. It does have its own, style. You're not going to see a lot of movies with all this opera and slow motion and fades in and out. It's not like a regular thing. Actually, no, J5000, she's talking about the story behind the making of the movie. I honestly don't know anything about any of the behind the scenes making of type of stuff for it at all. I like the fact that they use like a legitimate comedian as the biggest killer in the film. That is so fucking cool. Like the height of comedy to the height of murder on film. That is great. And if you don't know who Billy Connolly is, you do want to find out as fast as humanly possible. And if you really like the guy, check out that I've told you about this before. It's called Who Do You Think You Are? They just take a celebrity. It's like an hour long, and they trace their family history back to find something interesting. Like the Jeremy Irons one was very good. The Jeffrey Rush one was very good. And they also did one for Billy Connolly. And you watch the whole thing, and then you get to the very end. He's got a great line. It's like the funniest thing of the whole experience. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You do want to watch it. It's somewhere on YouTube. Okay, J5 saying Troy Duffy was the writer. He wrote the script, and there was a bidding war in Hollywood. Troy Duffy was a Boston bartender, complete unknown at the time. This is J5000. The script sells for $1 million. Yes, I don't know how much the budget for the film was, or just pulling it up here. I don't know if it's gonna tell me that kind of stuff. Um, maybe not. Michael said, I keep getting distracted listening to that music I recommended. Those are real life friends. I hope you get into it, Nikki and J5000 and Judd Rogers, everybody. Back in 1996, J5 is saying, wow, that's a minute. One to go to saying, FYI, the documentary film, Overnight 2003, following the story of Troy Duffy during his negotiations with Miramax. Over the Boondock Saints script, as well as his struggles to secure a recording contract. Wow. I didn't know. I know there was there's a lot of time between the OG Boondock Saints and the second one. Now to be fair, I don't know if that came out after Norman Reedus was doing The Walking Dead, so of course that's gonna run into like you can't be Daryl Dixon and then like cut your hair. I'm sure that's in his contract, so it's not like he could have like looked nicer for like the role if it required it. So that was right out. Does MDub tell me that kind of stuff? Maybe it's at the bottom. IMDb. The budget of estimated $7 million. United States gross as of January 2000 was 25,812. No, wait, that's thousands? That's a comma. Okay, I was gonna say, why is that? Now, I don't know if they have. I don't know if they meant a period or a comma. Maybe somebody from Europe wrote that. I don't want to read that off. I don't even know if that's correct. It's on imdb.com. Everybody knows what that is. Michael, if you don't know, now you know. A one to go to Duffy's abrasive behavior strained his relationships with his friends in the industry and led to Miramax pulling out of the project, leaving the film to be made by another studio at half the original budget. I got such a vibe thinking this was going to be a Miramax film before the first logo popped up. I'm glad you're saying that because I was going to be like, oh, Miramax. J5000, he negotiated to direct it, and then him and Harvey Weinstein got into it during the filming. I just wonder if he wouldn't get with the program. Yeah, maybe he wasn't into the same dirty stuff, so Miramax said no. Oh, damn, J5000. Weinstein got the distribution blacklisted. I think that's why it is so hard to find, just because of, that. Like these big Hollywood movies that nobody sees, it's because they're just not advertised or distributed enough so they fly under the radar. That makes a lot of sense. It makes sense. I was like, heavy Miramax vibes. And I didn't want it to be a Miramax film. Again, just, that gets into some creepy area. J5000, yeah, should have been a huge hit in theaters, instead had to become a cult hit through video. Yeah. Those cult hits, though, I mean, that's why we got like Shawshank Redemption. That's why that's a big deal. And despite how much I liked it at the time, The Nightmare Before Christmas didn't quite, initially was not a big hit, but you cannot turn around without seeing the merch year round. So everybody can suck it off. And the fact people do want more Boondock Saints. People are always, like they were talking about a third one 10 years ago or more when I got into The Walking Dead and Norman Reedus. People were like hype about it then. So I'm sure that hype is not diminished at all. So yeah, I'm glad everybody seemed to have enjoyed the film who watched it, or maybe I think everybody has already seen it. If it was your first time watching it, let me know. That would be awesome. But like, I think this is something everybody's already seen. It certainly has been out there long enough for everybody to have seen it at least once somewhere along the way. And again, there is a part two. It is fun. So the really only the real difference is Sean Patrick Flannery put on a bit of weight, but other than that, I still had a good time watching it from what I can remember. So if you find it, check it out. It has some characters that return. No spoilers. And then Michael said, Nikki, I strongly recommend that I listen to Ben Todd, John O'Leroy, and Sierra Farrell. Oh, J5 said, PG made me a shirt once for St. Patty's Day that was a Boondock Saints t-shirt. Hell yeah! I'd wear the hell out of that. And then I do now have the super chat option. Those are the first two links in the description. I do have Venmo and Buy Me a Coffee. And you can't expect me to be reviewing all of Dark Shadows from 1966. That is a 5-year-long soap opera. I'm about 185 episodes in right now, flying through, taking notes, getting up to the part I want to be at. And I've never seen the beginning before. This is all new to me, so that's great. No spoilers. They do drink a lot of coffee and eat donuts, so I'm glad to see that. That's why I'm back onto the coffee thing. But of course, you don't have to spend any money to support a channel. All you have to do is show up and have a good time. But other than that, you can smash the like button and make sure you are subscribed with all notifications on. And then give them a share if you think your followers would dig it. You can probably leave your pants on the floor since we're going to be right back here on Monday. It's been interesting, like doing a show off a day, doing a show off a day. So going back and forth with doing shows. Oh, what else is there? Yeah, I did watch this on Tubi. Tubi is a free app. You can watch it on your phone, your smart TV, and everything in between, unless they decide they can only show one thing at a time, which was not an issue this time last year. I don't know why it's an issue this year, but it is. We can work around it. We'll check out Pluto. Drop any film recommendations in the comments of any video or post, and we'll get a poll going up a week from today. Oh, have a great night, John Rogers. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, please do smash the like button if you haven't already. If you watch this before you watch the Boondock Saints, watch the movie proper. Michael Boondock Saints wasn't commercially successful. It was instantly a cult classic. It's got to be a movie that violent with such good acting and such interesting, just the way it's shot and the music and everything. It's not what you would expect. Like you would think it's just straight up violence, but no, it's actually a very like kind of like slightly stylized film. It does have comedy in it. It has its lighthearted moments. It's not just all murder and sadness. So it does have a little bit of everything. It's got its silliness in there too, along with the violence. Oh yeah. Good night, John. What else is there? Yeah, so Monday I'll get caught up with Friday from this week and we'll just kick it. I don't do a lot of Monday shows. That will be different. I like that. So please do stay warm. Michael said, you'll be happy to listen, Nikki, I promise. Okay, yeah, I've got those. Well, like when I watch these back, I take notes, and so I don't lose anything. That's why it's good to read the chat room. Yeah, have you a good meal, get some good sleep, smoke out on the balcony. Don't play around with firearms when you're partying, even if they are not loaded. I know they show that in movies, but that is not a safe thing to do. It might be fun for you, but it's not fun for the people around you. Please be more careful with where you're pointing, stuff like that. And maybe you don't be, like killing people in the mob because that's generally frowned upon. Save it for the movies. Francois, yeah, good night, everyone. Yeah, take it easy. What else is there? I didn't have the phone on tonight because I was going to be doing this, but I can always, of course, I'll have the phone line up for the next show on Monday. And don't get a CAT scan if you don't need one. I guess if you are a cat, you don't need a CAT scan. Have a Chips Ahoy cookie, just one. Have some coffee. And if you are a couple, check out the Quite Frankly forum. He does want stories to read to us, probably on Valentine's Day coming up. He always does something for that day. Can't end the stream if I can't get to the button. What else was there? Yeah, just I'm glad everybody showed up. I'm glad you enjoyed the film. It seems like can't wait to see what you guys pick for next month to watch. Since I do want to make sure this is I keep going with this every month. I want to go to said this was so much fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Very good movie. You guys have great taste in film so far, so thanks for picking it. And I'm very much looking forward to what we're going to watch next time. So you guys are awesome for participating and for being Franklies and having extra time on a Saturday. Oh, Michael said, we love you, Nikki. Fun stuff. Oh, thank you. Oh, J5000, have a great night, everyone. Everybody have a great night. I always feel like I'm forgetting to mention something, but oh, Midgard Titty Bar. I don't think I said that enough. All those years, 20 years of playing Final Fantasy VII, and I never thought of that. Huh? It's fine. It's fine. Maybe my mind was not as perverted back then in 2017. My bad. Got to get back to that. Oh, when to go to? Yeah. Thank you. This was so much fun. Thank you so much. Yep. So I love seeing all you guys. Everybody, take it easy. Michael said, playing with guns and eating barbecue right now. Nice. Yeah, took the message of the movie to heart. Just don't do that around your pets and you'll be fine. All right, good stuff. So I'll see you guys in a couple of days, and then we'll do the Frankly thing. Well, seeing you the day after tomorrow. And you know what? I think it's because the sun is like full on Aquarius. It's making me just like a tiny bit jangly. I gotta get used to it. It's only been a few days. So it's just too much airflow. Can't quite handle it. We'll get through it. Until next time.